by gang stalkers, whether they're doing it by choice or they're being mind controlled. This is not a conspiracy theory. These things have been proven. The dots have been connected, and it makes perfect sense from what I understand. It makes a whole lot of sense, and people are actually seeing and believing that, wait a minute, somebody finally knows how to explain it. And it's not that, like I said, I'm not any different than anyone else. I'm not any better. It's just I have been able to hear it on all sides and be able to put it together. And again, I have to thank the one and only true God that I know is, and as crazy as it might sound to some people, there's no doubt that the one and only true God is present, because there's no way that I could have done this on my own. There's no way I could have known what I know, just based on my personal education, and I graduated high school. That was it. So I know I'm rambling a little bit because I'm holding one phone, got the Bible in one hand, got this going, and I'm feeling the burn. I'll just say that. The air in here is a little thick, and knowing that it's kind of stressful, probably on the other side of the house. Very sensitive to that kind of thing. It's just enough to finally be able to connect the dots and put a stop to this once and for all. I know I'm not the only one they're doing this to. I watch videos and I hear people talk about gaslighting and what they do and the effects it has on their life, and they just can't prove it. They can now. Havannah syndrome. I watched a video Friday night. I became aware of what it actually is called. It's Havannah syndrome. Vertigo. There's a movie, Vertigo. There's a movie, Gaslighting. Now we know how they're doing it. And like I said, I'm not the only one they're doing it to. They're doing it to everybody. Law enforcement, government. And like I said, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. However, me personally, under this roof and my personal life for the past several years, it makes perfect sense who's doing it and how I can recognize who it is, no matter what voice they try to hide behind. I know their voice. I know in the chatter, when they don't know that I can hear their chatter, they slip up and I actually hear their real voice. I don't know if whatever they're using to change their voice is malfunctioning, or just by chance or coincidence, or I'll say, God showing me who it is. I've heard their actual voice and what they're saying. I've heard it in real time when someone has been at the bottom of the stairs saying something. I catch it. I hear it. And I listen to people when they talk. I studied music, so I know tones and pitches and things like that. So knowing someone's voice and knowing how they say things makes it easier to identify who's actually saying it, regardless of how they try to disguise it or use, they use certain people's voices they don't use. But I've noticed they try to use the same ones. They're not using the same ones like they were. I'm not sure why. I don't question it. I'm glad they don't. It seems to be the same ones now. So that tells me that their fan club, their followers, are dropping out. And I'm so thankful for that. However, the noise is still continuing. So whoever is behind it, the source of it, they're not going to stop until they're stopped. I've said that before. And I'm hearing some of the feedback. But again, I will say I hear different levels of sound. I'll just say that. It's not audible, but I hear it. There's yelling. It's not real yelling. It's somebody going off, because the more truth I speak, the more upset they're getting, because they know that they're, basically they're screwed. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean they know that the truth is out now and they can't do anything to stop it. As they have with other people before. They can't. They cannot stop it. Their man-made fear does not work on people anymore. Because the more people that know the truth now, they're waking up. And what I mean is they're not hearing the noise like they were. So it's almost like being in the rain and all of a sudden the sun comes out and it's like, wow, I see things so much better now. It's like sobering up. You're out from under that. I've been in a few times in my life, personally, I've been in stressful situations and I've gotten away from it. And it's like the fog lifts. You know, at first you feel kind of loopy, like, wow, this is weird. But then it's like you see things so much more clearly. And I know now, I feel it. That's what's happening right now with so many people. And I'm so thankful, because that's why I keep doing this, because I know what it's like to be tormented. I know what it's like to be in that fog and not really know why. Why do I feel so anxious? Why am I so afraid? And then to hear the voices and be too afraid to say, yeah, I hear voices, because people think you're crazy. And I kept saying in my writing that about the noise. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, maybe I won't. Well, I'm talking about it now openly, and I know that somehow people are hearing it. I know it when I go out of the house. The reaction that I get, the conversations I have with people, is so much better. Things that they say to me and things I say to them, and sometimes we don't have to say anything at all. It's just an acknowledgement, like, yes, we're one family. And, like I said, they don't have to say anything. And the conversations I do have with people, it's like they get it now. I know a lot of it is I've learned how to discipline my own self in the way to talk to people, where sometimes I get a little overexcited because it's like that aha moment. It's like, yes, yes, yes. And I do get excited about it. And here goes the fridge. Who wouldn't? To know that what you're doing, you're not doing it for nothing, and it's helping people. And that's the most important thing, because nobody deserves to suffer like this. They don't. Nobody. I don't care who they are. And there's a door slam. Nobody deserves to suffer. And we all are victims of this. We all are, whether we know it or not. The one or two that are truly behind this, the source of it, they're not victims. They are very much aware of what they're doing. And this is where I struggled as a mother, never wanting anybody to suffer or be harmed. However, they have chosen this, and they have to be held accountable. That's the only way that they're going to stop, is to have to answer for what they've done. I'm not saying punishment, but if you break the law, there's consequences. Whether or not they ever realize what they've done and they come to terms with it and they decide to be better people, well, that part of it is up to them. But for right now, they're going to have to answer for what they've done. We all have to be held accountable for what we do and what we've done. I can't excuse everybody's behavior. I can only try to explain from what I've seen and what I've experienced and the effect that I know that it's had on me and other people. I'm going to wrap this up because I am getting kind of tired, and my voice, I'm being affected by the environment. I'll just say that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, to help other people. And I'm going to keep doing it until the noise stops. And that's it. I'm going to continue doing audio. I'm going to try to be quiet because I'm tired of hearing myself talk too. I can say that. It's just too much with the noise and everything. I'm trying to make sure everything's documented, because this does have an effect on your memory. It really does. And I want to make sure everything is documented as it needs to be. So, there we go. I'm going to end this recording and start new recording number 199.